Please, let me say this, Ayo. You know the situation we see in universities whereby a student is continuously being failed just because she has not slept with the lecturer. That's what I've been facing, in simple terms.
Thank you.
At this point, I know that God have really punished my life. I mean, why did you make me a Nigerian? Why did you just look at me and say, okay, it's okay for you to be a Nigerian? Because it's, makes sense to me. This is a country I'm from here. I wake up every day, I'm still a Nigerian, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everyone, and thank you for clicking on today's video. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Lillian, and to you, my returning viewers, thank you for always coming back. Please do it to like this video. So I have talked about how women are being treated in Nigeria like forever. Constantly, I get blackmailed. You are demarketing your country. You like to put your country down. You always want to put Nigeria down. No, it has nothing to do with that, because I have no profit in doing that. I do not have any political ties like Davido, because when David came out to tell African Americans not to move to Nigeria, a lot of people came at him, and a lot of them accused him of being political, that he's doing that because his uncle is in PDP, that's the opposition party in Nigeria, so he's doing that to just sabotage the present government. So what about me? I do not have an uncle, and I do not have interest in politics, especially the Nigerian politics. I do not care. I don't. In fact, but I will speak, because I know there's a woman or two out there, especially my vulnerable African American sisters, that do not really know the continent that much. You may have traced your DNA back to Africa, and it is confirmed that you are maybe 100% or 90 something percent or 70% or whatever percent Nigerian. You may have heard a lot about how talented and creative Nigerian Afrobeat artists are, and you've seen a couple of flamboyant lifestyles of Nigerians on the internet, and everything is looking fascinating. You've heard about the resilient spirit of Nigerians, and you've heard about that country that do not bow to white people. You may have heard so much about Nigerians, the people that brag about being the most intelligent people in the world, the smartest in the world, and everything is looking like, oh my God, I can't wait to reconnect with my people. And you want to do that. Sis, before you do, I want to show you this video. I've talked about how women are being treated in Nigeria, but there's something I didn't know, that this could also happen among politicians. Like, my people voted for me, your people voted for you. We are colleagues. Do you understand? No one is a boss to anyone. So we are supposed to meet at the Parliament House to represent our people and work for the good of our country. So I'm very surprised to know that among the politicians, this sexual harassment do happen. So if you're a woman and you're looking to move to Nigeria, please pay attention to the video I want to play, because this is what is awaiting you in my own country. Yes, I repeat, I'm doing you a favor, because I know how it feels. You are African by blood, but you've not been here, and you do not know where to begin from. If you're moving to Africa and you're looking for which of the countries to go to, and you're thinking Nigeria is best for you because you've heard it's like New York, sis, watch this video. Senator Natasha, representing Kogi Central, Kogi North, Kogi something, is out with accusation against the Senate President of the Republic of Nigeria. He is the third in power. Like, if the president could no longer go on and the vice president decide to, like, okay, he's no longer going on, or something happened to them, which I'm not wishing them, but if it happened to them, why not? We take it. So if anything goes wrong wrong with those two. So the Senate president is supposed to be our president. But right now, he is being accused of sex harassment of his colleague, Senator Natasha. Anyway, before I talk too much and probably get into trouble and get out of character, let's take a look at the video of Senator Natasha explaining to the world what she did and didn't do wrong to warrant being constantly harassed at her office in Abuja. But right now, let's take a look at the video. I'll come back. We'll talk more on it. Let's go.
Or he will speak to you alone, or this is a particular trend.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to explain that.
Yes.
Yes, so many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. And the Senate President is allowed to counter that. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akwa-Ibom because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akwa-Ibom. And at first, we were at Akpoti-Uduaghan. We were in his house in Akpoti-Uduaghan. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just three of us. We're walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that, this designer here, he bought this from us. Like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. And my husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, "Do you like my house?" I said, "Of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste." He said, "Now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it." At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. But then my husband now, when I turned around, I saw my husband was already near me. And the way my husband looked at me and looked at him, I was beginning to wonder, did he hear part of that inciting statements or not? And then the Senate President too, I saw that he also had that thought, like, did my husband hear the invitation to treat or not? So then the Senate President now said, "Oh, by the way, let me show you my chapel." He has a chapel in his house as well. So when we were going to the chapel, you know, we walked in silence and all. So that evening, before we left the Senate President's house at about 11 midnight to the 4 points in Akpoti-Uduaghan. And my husband asked me, "Natasha, what did the Senate President whisper to you? What was he telling you?" I thought, should I tell him that he was speaking about bringing me in here at a special time for us to have a good time? Or should I just kill it there, wrap it as if there was nothing? Because tomorrow was a big day. I know how much my husband adores the Senate President. He loves him as a brother. My husband would do anything to support him. So I told my husband, nothing. I can't remember what I created, but I just gave him some words to manage, to mask what was said. When we laid in bed, I looked to my right and my husband wrapped his arms around me and he said, "My love, you know you can't tell me anything. What did the Senate President tell you?" Again, I was like, "Don't you believe me?" I said, "Nothing. Nothing. Moreover, it's my birthday in a few minutes. Let's just be happy." Then my husband told me he doesn't want to see me travel out of the country alone, and I should not go to the Senate President's house because he has a guest house where many senators do go there, you know, after office to like get approvals and all that. So I told him, okay, no problems. That was it. I thought that was going to be the end. But then, in February, I wanted to move a motion. I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of corrupt practice in Ajakuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the order paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, "Oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it." Or he will speak on others and then let it drag so that just before my motion is taken, the time will be well spent. So he kept on doing that. I went to him in his office And I said, Senate President, you know how important this Ajaokuta Steel Company to me is. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important. It's been listed. Then it was listed a third time and stepped down. He then said, Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy. At that point, I said, sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this. He said, well, the ball is in your court. I left his office, and when I got home, I told my husband, I didn't tell my husband what happened. I just told my husband, please, can you speak to the Senate President to allow my motion scale through? I think I also spoke to the DSP, to the leader, Senator Pemi. I spoke to a number of senators that they should please intervene and allow him to laugh. I never told them what happened. My husband had to take a trip to London. Then the Senate President traveled to London. My husband met with the Senate President in London and pleaded with him, let my wife take this motion on Ajaokuta. That is very important to her.
Okay. All right, Senator Natasha.
Said, okay, that he did not take it because he was protecting me. Hold on, please. He didn't take it because he was protecting me. Protecting me from what? Anyway, at the time my demotion was taken, it was the Deputy Senate President, His Excellency Barau, that actually sat. The Senate President stood up and walked out. So it was Senator Barau that actually took it.
All right, Senator Natasha.
And from there, many other incidents happened.
Yes, Senator
let's
Natasha.
Talk about the nightclub.
Yes.
Hold on, let's talk about the nightclub incident.
Professor Kila is going to ask you a question. I'm so sorry to have to interject here, but I just want to mention that, and I'm glad you gave the caveat at the beginning of your statement, that this is your side of the story, and the Senate President has the right to defend himself or to counter what happened between you privately. So what I assume, or for what you're saying, is that what happened last week Thursday began from a private conversation, and then you have felt like you've been maligned as a result of you not agreeing to certain propositions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what
has happened? You know the story of when a student keeps being failed.
Yes.
Please, let me say this, Ayo. You know the situation we see in universities whereby a student is continuously being failed just because she has not slept with the lecturer. That's what I've been facing, in simple terms.
Thank you.
You heard her give account of her own side of the story, and she even dared the Senate President to come up and defend himself. We were still being and just trying to figure out, for those that are in doubt. A lot of us were still waiting for the Senate President to come out and give his own side of the story, either deny the whole allegation against him, only for us to see this video.
Of the Senate President, Unoma Akpabio, has accused Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of maligning her husband following sexual allegations made by the senator representing Kogi Central. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party, during an interview on the Arise Morning Show, accused the Senate President of making inappropriate advances at her. But reacting to the interview, Mrs. Akpabio accused the senator of lying and creating content for personal gains. She described her husband as a disciplined and jovial person who is often misinterpreted.
Unfortunate accusation, I'll rather call it unfortunate, is very demeaning because that is a family. We knew the husband before the husband married her. We've always known the man. They were very good friends, or they are still very good friends. So I really don't understand where this is coming from, and I believe that for somebody to go and make such an allegation, there must be a discussion at home. There must have been a sanction or an approval. Or you're going to say this, go ahead and say it. And if the approval has come from the husband, our friend, I believe that he would have spoken to me because we are close. And then if the wife had complained about such a thing, and he still comes and is normal, there is no man you will tell, that the wife will tell, your friend asked me. I know how you men behave, that will not frown. First of all, the attitude towards the person will change. But this attitude never changed. And if you're talking about the house, we don't have any house in Ikorebene. Ikorebene is a local government. We are from a Senudim local government. Our country home is in a Senudim, in Okana. And I didn't hear anything about Okana. We have a beautiful home in Okana. If you're talking about Uyo, house in Uyo, I'm always there. I own a school. I'm always in my school. And when I finish at the school, I go home. So the home you are talking about, I'm always there. The Senate president is a very, very responsible man and disciplined.
Momo, call me Momo. We just saw the video by Madam Norma Okpabio defending her husband and threatening to sue Natasha for, oh my goodness. I thought we were done, like we're all waiting. We were waiting to see the outcome when I saw this video. At this point, I know that God have really punished my life. I mean, why did you make me a Nigerian? Why did you just look at me and say, okay, it's okay for you to be a Nigerian? Because it's, makes sense to me. This is a country I'm from here. I wake up every day, I'm still a Nigerian, ladies and gentlemen. This is a country I'm from. This is Nigeria. I've talked about how women are being unfairly treated in Nigeria, and we've seen a lot of the unaliving of women for no just cause. We've seen all these things play out, and when I talk, Nigerians will still come on my channel and look for how to silence me. I hope you know there's something called karma. Today, these women are coming out to defend a man. So if you're moving to Nigeria, remember this is you. Now Senator Natasha is lucky. She's a big girl. She's big. She's popular. Her husband is rich. She herself is powerful and smart, intelligent, and she's a stubborn babe. She's not the regular type of Nigerian woman. She can stand up for herself. She knows her left from right. So now we're talking about how, and she's even lucky she got people to support her on social media. They are using her to create content. Yeah, the one face activists. People like Aisha, that is the only name. I did not call her son name. If you add her son name, now you sabi. Aisha is now creating content on that. And we have other Nigerian YouTubers talking about it. But who remembers Ruth Ogunleye, the Nigerian military girl that was abused? Everything that was RAPE, a lot of things happened to her, including almost unaliving her. None of these people said anything about it. I did not call her son name. I only said Aisha. The one-face activist. She did nothing. She said nothing. They all kept quiet. I don't know where Ruth is today. And let me use this opportunity to tell us a story about me. Back in the days when I didn't do this online transfer because I wanted my income to accumulate. So I usually go to Nigeria like every 3 months so that I give the money time to accumulate so that when I go, I can be able to pay school fees, because YouTube do not transfer your payment method from another country to another. I have wanted to transfer my earnings from Nigeria to Ghana, but Google refused to let that happen. They have their reasons. That is their rules. So all I have to do is to follow the rules and just leave the account to continue in Nigeria. So back in the days, I used to go to Nigeria like once in 3 months. Then I didn't know I could find a lot of people I could work with where I would transfer money to them in dollars and get the local currency right here in Ghana. So there's this particular man that used to change money for me. I met him at a bank in Asabao. So we started talking. I give him people to, do business with. I wanted to transfer money, and he started telling me if I come to Nigeria, I have to come and see him. This man was pestering me, was disturbing me, and then at some point he threatened he was never going to change my money again if I don't sleep with him. Yeah, it's not just here. This is happening to people everywhere, every sector of the economy, even those of us that are not employed by the physical people here. An American company, YouTube, that have given some of us the opportunity to earn a living without having to go through that bustle and hustle of having to sleep with anybody. So if Senator Natasha have just played along, just play along. And you see why a lot of women would rather just play along. She'll just sleep. They'll just accept. Married women, they'll sleep with men, married men. Just because if you come out and talk about it, the society will blame you. They will shame you, just like they are shaming this woman. And you can't speak up because people will tell you, now they say the man is joking. Can you hear that? So for those of you that are going to Nigeria, all the best, but don't say I didn't tell you what to expect, okay? Nigeria is ready to mess you up as a woman, okay? They are not ready. Forget all these things. They will come online and talk it. And their children will pay for it. I keep saying that whatever you push people into, you know that this thing is wrong, but you are pushing people into because of your own ego, your pride. You want people to fall victim. Remember, your children will pay for it. And this is to Nigerian content creators that have made it a duty to lie to the world about our country. Just look at what Natasha is going through. Is it fair? Just because you said, oh, I want to sleep with you, and I said, no, I don't want to sleep with you. So in the banking industry, the same thing. Even hospitals, you send your child to go acquire medicine, to have medical knowledge. They come back, they are being harassed at hospitals, and if they refuse, they'll frustrate them until they quit. So this is African Americans, okay? Say you go to Nigeria, you are free to go, okay? All right? If I were you look for other countries. Uganda is there, Ghana is there, South Africa, other countries, Kenya, at least. Togo, Benin, if you can speak French, you can go to those ones. In Ghana, a woman is the vice president. So if this was to be in Nigeria, which will never be, the president has to be sleeping with the vice for her to keep her position. Otherwise, no way. Anyway, I'm done with today's video. The comment section is there. Roast your mother. But remember, you have children. You have girls. And what you do to others, it will find a way to come back. I am done with today's video.